Very excited to talk to our next guest, guys. Let's take a break from Super Bowl and NBA trade deadline stuff. And we got a fighter here who's going to be fighting for the championship coming up at UFC 312 in Australia. Tatiana Suarez joining us here. Tatiana, thanks for the time. Really appreciate it.
Hello, how are you? Thank
Very good.
you. Thank
Very
you for
good.
having me on. Are you from Miami?
We are. Yeah, we're down here in Miami.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, Miami's a big place, but do you know the guy who did my documentary, Cassius Corrigan, or
I don't know
have
him.
you heard? Oh, okay,
I
okay.
don't know him. I actually
I
haven't
mean,
seen.
it's a big place, so I didn't expect you to know, but I thought I would ask.
How did you link up with him? Like what made him the guy to make it?
Um, so to be honest, he like randomly messaged me on Instagram one day, and then we ended up just becoming really good friends. And then he just, well, I mean, he does what he does. He's like he does what is it called? I don't know what those jobs are, like produces,
Yeah, like a filmmaker,
produce,
producer,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, filmmaker. And so we ended up, I mean, he just wanted to tell my story and is very passionate about telling my story. And because he was so passionate, I thought there's no one better to tell a story than someone who is very passionate about telling the story.
Do you like this is your story is I mean incredible, Tatiana, and it's been incredible to see this fight week and everything that's led into it. Do you have you been doing like a lot of reflecting in the midst of this week, or has it been more business as usual because you are so used to this?
No, it's always business. That's how I am. Anybody who knows me knows I'm not like a, that's probably why, I get through the things that I get through, because it's like, for me, I don't dwell on things. I kind of just go, okay, well, what can I do? What can I do to get better? When I hurt my neck, it was, what can I do to get better? How, I don't know how long it's going to take me, but I'm going to do everything that I need to do every single day in order to get back to my sport and do what I love. And I did just that. And then that's why it was really super heartbreaking when I had that knee injury, because I had done everything, all the work for 2 years to get back to my sport. And then, just like that, I was back to doing it all over again, because I mean, it was such a severe injury. So that was probably one of the most difficult things I would say, just because I just had done so much work already. And I was like, man, I thought, because, when you think about things that happen in your life, you think, okay, maybe I'm just not ready. Maybe that's just not my time right now. And then you think, and then when you do something and then you get back to it, you go, okay, now is my time. And then I was right back to square one. And I'm like, damn, like how much, how much do I have to learn here in life in order to, get to where I want to get? So that was probably the most challenging, but it took me like maybe like 2 days where I was like, okay, Tot, we're gonna get back up and you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna recover. You're gonna do everything in your power. You don't know how you're gonna recover. You don't know if you're gonna be the same person after, the same fighter, if your leg's gonna be the same, but you're gonna do everything you can to be the same. And that's all you can do.
What do you think for your standpoint? Was it a mindset? Was it a person or anything like that helped you the most along the way?
So for me, I think that's just, my mindset. My mom has said I've been like this from a very young age, like when I was younger. I don't remember if you remember those things that went around your foot and then you skipped, it was like a
Yeah, yeah,
ball
yeah.
and
Yeah,
you
the
skipped
counter.
around it.
I
Yeah.
think it was.
Hmm.
Was it called Skip It? I think
Yeah,
it
I
was.
think probably. Anyways, either way, that this is how like I am. Like I remember I just at first I wasn't good at it. And then I was like, I'm gonna keep doing it until I'm really, 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 really good at it. And then I was just like, my mom was like, yep, she's still out there. Been hours. Like, you know what I mean? And she's like, yeah, when you put your mind to something, you really just make it a point to do it. Back in the day, I don't know if it's the same. I don't know where you grew up, but I remember, we had the jump rope thing where you would jump rope for like a certain amount of time, and if you won, you would get like a prize or something at the end. It was like a thing. And when I went to school, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna practice, and I would just like practice for months until like then it was like I was like, this is my moment. My mom was like, she is hyper competitive.
I think that's a cool. I think it's a cool thing that you see with kids too. Because my son had his first jujitsu competition. He just turned 9,
Oh
and
wow.
I could see because his first one it was like a he lost on advantage but no points, and you could just see like that like craze in him because he couldn't wait to get out there the next time, and then
Yeah.
he ended up winning his next match. You could just see like that that pride, which was a cool thing to see that. But you like I would see it through the kids throughout the whole time, like little 6-year-olds, girls in like non-gi. One girl got smacked in the face with an elbow illegally, and you could just see that switch turning in. So I think that is something that even as a young age you could see kids have that. It's a pretty cool thing to watch as an adult.
Yeah, absolutely. I think like the most rewarding thing that I've ever done, I could say, in my life was like so my coaches were like, "Hey, Todd, do you think you'd be interested in like teaching kids wrestling?" And I was like, "No." Because some kids are like super big brats,
Oh
like,
yeah.
and so then I was like, I don't have the patience for this thing, like, like that. I don't know if I have the patience. And I was like, and then I was like, well, I'll do it, and I ended up doing it. And I'll tell you, it was probably the most rewarding thing I've ever done. And I could see why my brother, started his own wrestling school because it is super rewarding to see the difference, like when a kid comes into the sport and a few months later like they just grow in confidence and they just grow as people, and I think that's what wrestling taught me. I started doing competitive sports. My mom put me in every single sport there is. Like she put me in wrestling, she put me in judo, she put me in baseball, she put me in volleyball, she put me in cheer, she even put me in football. She put me in like this Mexican dancing. You know what I mean? Like my mom put me in every single sport. And I just loved wrestling so much. And then it just kind of took off. She even made me choose between judo and wrestling. And I was like, wrestling.
Wow.
So yeah.
This matchup against Zhang Weili, she's obviously been in a lot of big events. I'm sure you've had your eye on her for a while. What are the
Yeah.
skills that she possesses? I guess that you find most intriguing to solve when you get in the cage there on Saturday night.
Um, I don't think like there's anything like I feel like I just have to like solve like anything in particular that she's gonna put out there. I really just focus on myself, and that I think that's another reason why, I have been, I think I guess we would say like not I would say like that I overcome certain things, like in my life because I just kind of focus on myself. I don't worry about like outside sources. I don't worry about anything like that. I just kind of go about my business and I take care of business all the time. So it's like for me, when I go out there, I just want to implement my game plan, focus on me, just like I do every single camp. Like people go, what, how did you prepare for this? And how did you prepare for that? And how'd you, and I'm like, well, I don't think I'm going to change it up now because I've always just done it one way. And it's always just like me becoming the best version of myself and making sure when I get out there to do what I do best. And that's going, putting people on their butts and submitting them or making them pay for being on their back.
You thought about like you know, winning it and becoming champion? Like, do you feel like that's something you're going to keep as well? Because obviously, when you're on top, more people come along and they want to be there for the ride. And I'm sure that you know what it's like to be when no one's watching, and you know who the people who are truly in your corner. So have you thought about like what that dealing with that success is going to be like?
Yeah, I mean, I have such a strong personality. It doesn't matter like if I am 20-time world champion, I will never ever change who I am. And the people that are closest to me will be the people that are closest to me forever and ever. And because I know who was there for me when, I didn't have anybody or nothing. So for me, that's something I could say like is super strong in me. Like anybody who knows me knows I have a small circle, and it's very very difficult to get in the circle just because I am like very careful about the people that I bring around me. Yeah.
What is like what takes to get into the trust tree? Like, what are the things you value the most?
The trust tree. I value loyalty, and I just like, it's all about like like people that are genuine, people that are genuine, not there for, and I know I have a very good I think women in general have like a thing where they could just sense that people are either, fake, or they're not fake, or they're there for something else, very intuitive, I guess you would say, you know. So that probably because of my astrology.
In Australia right now, I saw in the embedded. I think it was Dricus Duplessis had the most giant spider I've ever seen. Are you dealing with any weird wildlife over there? Have you had to encounter anything? Because Australia is kind of weird with that.
Where did he see the spider?
I don't know. It looked like a gym. I don't know if you guys share a gym over there or what the hell's going on, but it looked like it looked like the size of his hand. It was, and so
Oh
I just assume that's what's going on because it's Australia.
my God, I would freak. No. But you know what? I was pretty calm the other day when I went to the gym and there was like a big lizard in the bathroom. And I was like I saw something move and I was like, what is that? And then I was like, and then I was like, okay, that's a lizard. And I was like pretty calm. And I was like, Osama, is there like a like I'm like, I think there might be a lizard in there. And he was like, oh yeah, that's the gym lizard. And I was like, what? And
What?
he like ran over and then he comes over and he's like, oh that isn't even the gym lizard. That's a different lizard.
It's like, oh yeah, that's our poisonous Australian dragon, because it looks like the scare. Like I'm sure it's an awesome place, but wildlife wise, it looks like the scariest place on the planet. There's like the most poisonous animals, the biggest animals, and so that's one thing I'm always just fascinated if I ever went over there, just because even in Miami, we have iguanas running wild here, but none of them are dangerous. I feel like all the Australian
Yeah.
animals come with like some kind of kit of danger.
They're like, yeah, if you get pricked, you die. You're like, what?
Oh man. Hey, we're looking forward to the fight this week. UFC
Thank you.
312 watching Tatiana Suarez taking on Zhang Weili for the strawweight championship. Thanks so much for the time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.